is also an object, right? So we'll explore that actually what is this key value pair. Okay, so map is not a sub interface of collection, it is a separate collection. It's not hierarchy for the collection interface, so it is a a specific individual collection. Okay, if you want to store the value as a key pair, one big container is there and you want to store this value inside this key value pair, then we should go for map. Both key and values are object only. Duplicates keys are not allowed. Okay, duplicates keys are not allowed. Each key value pair is called entry. Okay, so hence map is considered as a collection of entry object. So each key and pair is called entry. Okay, and it is considered as a entry object. Got it, right? So we have a multiple methods inside this map, like put method, put all method, get method, remove, contains key, contains value, empty, is empty, size, and clear. Okay, and this method is called collection view of map. Okay, so key set and values and set entry, very important method. Okay, we'll see in the code. Okay, so every key value pair is called entry. Okay, this is your key and this is your value. This one pair is called entry, and entry is also an interface. Entry is an interface. Let's see what the meaning of that. Okay, so this key value pair is called one entry. This is your second entry, right? So this is entry is a map is a group of key value pair, and each key value pair is called entry. Hence map is considered as a collection of entry object. Without existing map object, there is no chance of existing entry object. Hence entry interface is defined inside this map, right? So we have, this is your entry interface, and inside this we have a method called get key, get value, set value. So entry a specific method we can apply only one object, has map. So what is has map, right? So we'll go here and we'll see this the implementation. Just I want to show you. This is your map, right? So this is your implementation class, has map, and link has map is the subclass of map. Okay, so these are the sub interface, big map, and this is your one dictionary, that is your abstract class. Hash table is also legacy class, and properties is also classes. Okay, subclass of hash table. So let's see, it's not we'll discuss all the things, but whatever the important has map and link has map, but you have to do the practice for the code. I already shared with you link. So only you have to understand how to use the method, that's it, right? So hash map is having the internal data structure is hash table. Hash table is nothing but it is working on the hashing algorithm, right? It is like hash set, right? So it is working on the hashing algorithm. Hash table means here performing the hashing algorithm, right? Hash code searching operation. So insertion order is not preserved, it is based on the hash code of a keys, right? So it is not based on the index, it is based on the hash code. So duplicates keys are not allowed. Why? Because this is working on the hashing algorithm, but value can be duplicated. Heterogeneous objects are allowed for keys and value, and value null is allowed for keys, only one. So hash map implement serializable, chronological, but not a random access. So hat set is the best choice. Is our frequent operation is search operation. Sorry, hash map. So we have a constructor like previous collection. So we have a constructor is create an empty hash map object with the default initial capacity 16 and default fill ratio 0.73. We have another constructor. You can pass the capacity yourself. So default capacity is also 0.75. Okay. This is your default ratio. I think this default ratio is 5 only, not 3. Okay. We can pass two parameter and we can pass here map also. Okay. So this is your different type of map. In the interview they are asking many questions from the map. Okay, how to display only key, how to display only just I have shown you right here all the same, not anything I'm doing extra here. Okay, so here create a map with default initial capacity and load factor. Right. So this key is your string type, value is your integer type. Okay, creating a map 30-second initial capacity. Okay, so this is your default initial capacity. Here we are creating with with 30. Here we are creating with we are passing two parameters. This constructor initial capacity and float ratio. Okay, and this is the this constructor I have used that. That's it. I want to show you. Here you can pass the map. You can pass the another map object also reference, right? So this is like I have given this. So we'll see that. Okay. Right. We'll understand one code and I shared with you the link. Just do the practice and they will not ask collection. Okay, they won't be asked too much question from the collection, but not learn for your interview purpose. Learn the things you can work in the company. Okay, so you can do the practice, so you will get two profit: interview and you are able to survive in the company. Okay, so Java is very important. Okay, so work on the Java and coding skill, because this is your base. Selenium is nothing but every organization having their own stuff. Might be they are not using the Selenium, they are using the different library. Okay, so but they will give you task on the Java. That library is related to the Java. So if you know the Java, you can grab slowly and you can pick on that your work speed, right? So we'll discuss this code. So how to store object inside this map using key value pair. Okay, using key value pair. What we are doing here, we are storing the map object inside this key value pair. Actually what happened internally, I did not go through this internal diagram, but according to my understanding, because we are creating a new keyword, right? So one container or one object will be created. Here you are storing this value, right? Key value pair. So internally object, or you can tell data is storing like that. Okay, so how? By using this put method. So this hash map object is created, and inside this storing this key value pair. Okay, like that. So here how the value is storing, it is like a type of data database. You can store huge number of objects inside this key value pair. So internally how the value is going to store? Hash map, creating an object, one object container is created. Put method is going to store the key value pair. Key value pair is nothing but it is an interface, right? So here this all the value will store inside this. Now what do you have to do? Now object is stored in the map, then we have to perform the operation, right, according to the requirement. So map already having the many methods, so we will use this method for object and we will perform the operation, or we will use the code according to the project requirement. That's it. So actually I displayed 2 times, so you can see how this value is storing, right? So this is your key value, one entry, this is your another entry, this is your another entry, right? So this is how you can store the value inside this map. If you will try to store, okay, I am adding one more after that. I added one more, or no, I replace with, in place of we have this, right? Just I store the key is same. I will store a different object. Okay. Right, same thing happened with the set also, right? If you will try to store duplicate key, then it is returning that value only, this value. Okay, so we want to get any error, and we want to get any runtime and compile time error. This is your interview question. Yeah, I know. Object, if we cannot store the duplicate value as it, but if you will store, then what will happen? So you have to tell it will return the old value. Okay, old value. This is your key and this is your value. So if I will try to store duplicate key, it will return the old value of key. Old value of key, previous this key, or you can tell entry. Okay, in one entry if you will try to store the duplicate key, then what happen? It will return old value. So this is the one question, and this is your how to display only key, right? You want to display only key, so we have a method called key set. Key set is a method, it will return set. Okay, it will return set, and right, so these all are very important question. Okay, so you have to know, because the question they will ask, yeah, it is returning, right, this value. Actually this is displaying. Okay, I commented this one also. I will not get any confusion. So here it returning only key. So how to return the key? How to get only key value? We have a key set method, key set returning, set type. How to get only value? Right? So we have a method called values, and values method is returning the collection type. Okay? So here we are getting what? Only value. So 3 questions. How to store object inside this map? Okay, if you how you will store and how it is going to store the map inside this. Why map? If you want to store the object as a key value pair, then we should go for map. What is the key value pair? It is entry. What is entry? Entry is an interface. How to, if you will store the key, then what will happen? Will return the old value. Okay, and how to get the only key? Right? So we have a method called key set. It will return the set type. How to get only value? We have a method called values. It will return collection type. Values. Okay. You know, in the one code, how many questions are there? So this is your. I want to display entry set. Okay. Then how to do that? So we have a method called entry set. So it will return set. You can see here, this is the collection type. This is your curly braces, right? And here the value is returning the type, which type returning, set type, collection type. You can see we have a square bracket, right? So it is the proof. This is the set type. So set type is, when you will display it, it will display like that. So here we are getting the entry set. Just we are going to do something. Okay, so here I am going to iterate this all the object. So we will use iterator, right? So last session we already discussed this. No need to discuss again and again, right? How this iterator is working. So here we have performing the interior stuff. So here what you have to do, you have to do the casting for map.entry. Why I have written map.entry? Because this is your sub interface of map. So if you will write only directly entry, then what happens? Not able to understand JVM and compilers. Because map is there, then entry is there. But entry is there, map is not there, right? So we cannot go like that. Map is there, then entry is there, right? Only entry, how you can use, right? So that's why we have to do the casting map.entry, right? So now just bucket, right? In this bucket we'll get object one by one. This is your. So what is the object here? Object is, this is your key value pair. Sorry. Okay. This is your object. This is your object. This is your object. Right. This is your object. So here performing this operation, right? Iterator. So has next object is there. Get it this object. Next it will control to next. The same thing going to perform here, not doing anything new stuff, just put it down some condition. So inside this we have a method called get key and get value. So get key, if it is Raj, then it will set this value 1000. Okay, performing some operation, we are not doing anything extra, right? So here it iterated this, and you can see lastly in place of Raj we have a 1000, right? I have set this value. So here just you have to learn how to use the methods, all the method which is present inside this map. That's it. Okay, so we have another question. What is the difference between map and hash map and hash table? So hash table is your legacy class, like previously we had already discussed, array, list and vector, a string and a string buffer. So features of legacy class is same. It is, the method present in the hash map is non-synchronized, and every method present in the hash table is synchronized. So I already explained this all the point, right? So here multiple threads are allowed to operate a hash map object, hence it is not a thread shape. Here it is only one thread is allowed to operate hash table, hence it is a thread shape. Relatively performance is high because of, threads are not required to wait for, for next object, right? So I told you, right? Thread shape, or what is the meaning of the thread? Thread is one execution. Main method is your thread. One execution, executing, right? So that is called thread. We have a just visualize that. We have 100 method inside this map, right? Hash map and hash map. So I in the hash map and hash table having the 100 method. That all 100 method you are using in your project. So if you will execute, then 100 method executed at a time. But in the hash map, hash table, if you will execute, then it will execute one by one, right? So that is, legacy problem. But it is a thread shape. One method executed, then another method executed. One method completed, another method. So performance is low, right? Very less performance is not good as compared to hash map. So they implementing the stuff and enhancing the Java stuff. So same thing I have mentioned. Null is allowed for both key value pair, and null is not allowed for key value pair. You will get null pointer exception. It is introduction 1.2 version and it is introduction 1.0 version. So it is a sub interface of hash map. It is exactly same as the hash map. Okay, sorry. So we have a linked hash map. So linked hash map is same, like, but we have internal data structure is different, and all the method and all the things are same, because this is the sub interface, a sub class of hash map only, right? So it is a sub interface, sub class of hash map. It is exactly same as hash map, including method and constructor. So what is the difference? So all the difference they will ask in the interview. Okay, so keep ready for this. Collection is enough for you crack the interview. Theory part, coding part you have to do practice, because the code you cannot expect the same code they will ask every interviewer. You have to stick with your concept. Oh, any code will ask, I am able to write. So people, in my Facebook, many people are, hey, can you share the interview question? What you can do for the interview question? Nothing, right? I will prepare for 100 interview question and will go for the interview. If you are not good in the concept, then what happens? They will ask the cross question, you will stuck it. So yeah, interview question, when you will see that interview question? Hey, I revised everything, Java, Selenium, all the syllabus with code. Then I just go through that interview question and keep on your any place, or just before going for the interview, what you have to do, or how to do the practice for the interview. First complete all my syllabus with practical. Before that, not the start interview. Whatever I have discussed in the class and whatever in my notes is there, you have a practical knowledge with all the theory in your mouth. First prepare well, then you will start the interview. If you will not prepare well, then you will go and reject, then frustrated. Prepare well, then you can see the interview question, then you can keep somewhere and you will take your interview yourself, open your webcam or open your mobile camera and put on that and start your interview. Start it if you don't know, if you know, and also make the timer how much time you are able to give them. Then how to fight with competition, right? So 100 people came for the interview, why they will hire to you, and what is your unique you have, right? So my agenda is you are completely different from the other interviewer. Okay, so and don't think you are the tester. You have to do coding. So if you did not start the coding, start from today. Theory you can read anywhere, but logic you cannot develop in while going the interview. I am doing the practice for coding. You can't do, and you want to get the confidence. So from today you can start. Might be Selenium. After completing the Selenium, you have some bunch of confidence with coding a skill. Okay, so if you want to get job, after completing the course, I am looking for job. So if you will follow me, only 5 interviews is enough. I will also I'm not getting the time, but before I was taking the demo interviews, so it is very helpful the people who got blessed. Just I have given some guidance, they followed me. That's it. They followed me because I cannot tell you, I cannot take the session, hey do this. Just I will tell you and just make it down what I'm going to tell you and follow me. That's it. All the question is repeated after 1 and 2, 3 interview. You will get more idea which type of the question they will ask, and your level is like 5-year experienced. If you will follow me and parallelly if you will do the practice, so your level is like 5-year. You can put on your profile, I worked on 4-year or 5-year or 6-year in testing profile. Then you can do the relevant experience. So if you will join in the any company, I have total 6-year experience. I will work with Java Selenium 4-year and 2-year in the manual. So we'll get good hike or good hike, right? So like that you can go and you can settle in the company also. They are not having the anything new, only Java or Selenium is there, but you have to understand the flow. So I will prepare here 60 and 70% or 80%, 20% you have to understand the system in the any company. That's it. And the people who is working in the different profile, you have to not struggle more. You know the system and all, just you have to grab the environment and all. That's it. So start on the Java because Java is your completed almost. I have one more topic that is called exception handling. I will try to finish in 1 day or 2 days. Okay. So this is your hash map. So here we and hash link hash map. So internal data structure is linked list and hash table here. Insertion order is not featured, it is based on the key. Here insertion order is featured because it is having the linked list also. It is introduction 1.2 version and 1.4 version. Okay, so here list and set, so many points I have already discussed. So this is the free point. Okay, so this is your collection completed. Now your job is start your preparation, right?